Classic dropping the carb log water drink on the way to work. Hope you guys and gals have a great day. If nobody tells you today on this beautiful Sunday that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well, I'm praying for you guys. If you guys are praying for me, I'm grateful. Remember that this is another day that the Lord has made, and even if we are going through trials and tribulations, we are still here. And even if we're going through something, we have to press on. Sometimes we want to understand it, we want to try to criticize it, we want to try to put it in our own box and our own perspective. And sometimes our perspective is still very incorrect. You know, we try to think with logic with certain things, and I understand the human mind and how complicated it can be, but some things are just not meant for us to understand, honestly. And even the things that we go through, understand that we can go through them and we can still find joy at the end of the day. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast where I talk about professional wrestling topics, and I put my matches up as a Classic Alpha, professional wrestler of 13 years. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We have all of our matches from previous shows throughout the years of 2019 to 2025. So 6 years still running. Next year, 7 years. February 21st is our first show of the year. Dyer, Indiana, Harold's private venue called Big Business, B-I-G Business. Tickets are on sale currently on Eventbrite. They are $5 off online, but they'll be $5 more at the door. Bars. Remember when wrestling finishers used to actually finish matches? Remember when you saw this finisher, you was like, well, that's it. That person is not getting up. Do you remember when wrestling finishers used to be protected? As in, if one person did this move, nobody else would do this move. And if you did do that move, you had to have a different version of it. If not, somebody gonna put the paws on you, the pew pew. Y'all remember that? I remember that. I remember when finishers used to finish matches. I remember finishers used to win championships. I remember when people used to get on the edge of their seats when the finisher used to come in. But now, if you do a finisher within the first minute or so or 30 seconds of the match, we already know that that person's going to kick out. Finishers are called finishers for a reason. It finishes matches. Now, I'd say for the past decade, even a little over a decade, it's just, especially on the independent circuit, and then now even in the mainstream form of wrestling, everybody kicks out of finishes. It doesn't matter if it's a PLE, a pay-PV, a OPP. Yeah, you know me. What's going on, Lily? It don't even matter. I just think that it's an oversaturation of kicking out of finishes, man. To Lily. What's going on, Lily? Nice to meet you. It's an oversaturation of kicking out of finishes. So it's just like, at what point, what do we have to do to defeat an opponent? What do we have to do to finish an opponent? There should be, kicking out of finishes should be very, very special. And that's the problem. What's going on? What's going on? That's the problem. Kicking out of finishes is not even special no more. And you know, everybody calls it spanning the finisher. You know, when you play 2K, when you play the wrestling games and stuff like that, we used to play like SmackDown and SmackDown 2 Know Your Role on PlayStation. And what we used to do was you could store 5 finishers onto your character. I don't know if they can do that for the new games. I know they did that one point. I don't know if they do it now. But you can do like 5 to 6 finishers. Like you can store them like at the beginning of the match. Or you can earn the finisher so it makes the match look a little bit better. We used to start finishers up, and then we like, okay, Stone Cold versus The Rock. Oh, okay, I'm gonna hit my finisher. I'm gonna hit my finisher as soon as I can. Back then, you couldn't reverse finishers neither. So if they put you in the finisher, that was it. But I'm just saying, spamming finishers is just what it is, guys. Oh, they talking trash. I ain't worried about them people. If the Ring Syndicate show up, they'll show up and take care of them. Well, God bless you anyway. Said you built like a bowling ball. you gonna strike out. How about that? You need to go somewhere with that, man. You need to go play on the playground or something. See, I'm nice. Oh well, I ain't worried about you. Anyway, God bless you. God bless you. Anyway, finishers used to be so special. They used to be so special when they used to finish matches. They used to finish matches. Nowadays, it's just so different now. To where everybody, they just do them. Everybody continues to do them, and it's crazy because it doesn't make the matches special anymore. I ought. Anyway, finishes used to be so special. They used to be so dope. And nowadays, like, finishes still look nice, but they still don't finish matches like they used to. Like, everybody wants to be a good storyteller, right? But at the same time, everybody's using the same pin. They're using the same thing. So they're using the same thing. And it's like, why should it be special anymore? From the beginning of the first match to the last match, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem when it comes to certain things with the finishers, because that's like the new wave of matches. And I understand people will be like, oh, well, you just got to get with the times. This is what they do. People kick out of finishers and stuff like that. And it's just like, nah, I don't always have to. I think, you know, we can sit here and say wrestling's changed and the landscape has changed, but that doesn't mean that I have to, one, support it, and two, be like, oh, okay, I understand it now. You know, I can probably count on one hand how many times somebody's kicked out of my finishers and matches, because it's a finisher. You know, it's very, very important to me. It's when people see that, that's when people know it's the end of the match or something like that. So, like, I can understand maybe championship matches and maybe contender matches or whatever like that, but to sit here and just be like non-title matches and matches that's on Raw and SmackDown and stuff like that, that's crazy to me. I remember Brock Lesnar's F5 was like one of the most protected finishes at one point. It was to the point to where he hit one time and then win the match, and people get mad. Oh man, that's it? All he did was hit one F5. Yes. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be one and done sometimes. It doesn't always have to be, I gotta hit you with 5 or 6 finishes. We talking about wrestling, Luke. We're not talking about that right now. But still, finishes used to be special. And since we're talking about finishes, even submission finishes, those aren't as special as they used to be now. And that's for like the longest. Kurt Angle put you in an ankle lock, you probably got a few seconds until you want to tap out. Nowadays, everybody wants to crawl with the person. Everybody don't want to tap out. Everybody just wants to sit here and just act like they're just strong. Now, the thing with wrestling is we dip and dab into reality. So when you look at jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff, and you look at MMA, UFC, Bellator, you look at all of this stuff, and you see these people, as soon as they're putting a move, a devastating move, they're tapping out quick, or they're passing out. The problem with wrestlers is that they take too long to pass out, like as soon as, and it's just like, bro, you see people struggling for a whole minute to pass out. I'm like, literally, story-wise, your arm should be broke, or you should be out. You should be going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so crazy to me, because it's just like, this is like the new standard of wrestling. One of my favorite kickouts of a finisher ever was one of my favorite matches. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. Y'all guys know how much I love that match. You guys know that is one of my favorite matches. And they kicked out of each other's finishes a couple times. But that one time where Undertaker, he picked up Shawn Michaels when he was trying to skin the cat. He picked him up and he gave him a tombstone. When he gave him the tombstone, everybody thought that was it. 1, 2, Shawn Michaels kicked out. Undertaker's face of being in utter shock that Shawn Michaels kicked out. Like when the cameraman zoomed in on the Undertaker's face. Mind you, Undertaker rarely shows a lot of emotion, especially when he was doing the dead man stuff. But the fact that they zoomed in on that, and then JR said, I just had an out-of-body experience. Now we laugh at it, but at the same time, the emotion behind that, because everybody knows that if the Undertaker did a tombstone, it's not a lot of people that's going to kick out of it. It's just not going to happen. Nowadays, it's just so different. People kick out of DDTs, tombstones, chair shots, pistol whips, swords, all kind of stuff. Car wrecks. Like, it's just, to me, it is like, at what point, what happened? Like, is something in the water making people more resilient to just kicking out of stuff? And it's like, even on free TV, like, everybody's kicking out of everybody's finishing. I talked about Jey Uso versus CM Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event. And I said that CM Punk beat Jey Uso, but he had to use 5 go-to-sleeps. He had to use 5 go-to-sleeps. He hit him with one. Jey kicked out. He hit him with another one. I think Jey kicked out. No, he hit him with one. Jey rolled out the ring. He hit him with a second one. He pinned Jey. Jey kicked out. He hit him with a third one. And when he hit him with the third one, Jay bounced off the ropes to get back on his shoulders, which I hate, by the way. I hate when they do that because it's a knee to the face, and I don't think I'm gonna stumble and go over somebody's shoulder. Like, to see it done one time is one. I know he did it with Moxley, then he did it with Rollins, and then I did it with Jay. So he did that was the third time, and then when he was going for another one, he couldn't pick him up. Punk couldn't pick him up, and then Jay put him in a sleeper. And then at the end of the match, he hit him with the go to sleep. Jay bounced off the ropes, landed on his shoulder. They redid the spot, and then he gave him 5. He gave him 5. Like, what's going on, Riley? What's happening? What's happening? God bless, God bless. But yeah, CM Punk beat Jay Uso with 5 go to sleeps. Now, you know, go to sleep is basically a knee to the face. An elevated knee to the face. I'm going to put you on my shoulders. I'm going to lift you up, and then my knee is going to hit your face. So that should knock somebody out off of one of them. So imagine 5 to the face. What did the 5 knees say to the face? Oversaturation. That's exactly what it said. But still, that's just the way. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm on the way to work. Man, I wish I could chill. I get home, a lot of stuff I got to do in the basement, and then I do plan to chill. Soon. But still, yeah, finishes used to be so special. It's like it doesn't even matter if it's a pin finisher or if it's a it doesn't matter if it's a pin finisher or it doesn't matter if it's a submission finisher. Everybody like does the same thing, and to me, it's just like not as special as it used to be, and it is so crazy. Why is the gate not open? Oh, my job, y'all, my job. Oh, man. But anyway. Sorry about that. Yeah, finishes used to be like a special thing. Appreciate you. Appreciate the sub. Yeah, finishes used to be like such a special thing, man. And it was just like, you know, you see the Stone Cold Stunner, oh, you know it's the end of the match. Or you see a rock bottom, you know it's the end of the match, or close to it, or whatever like that. Or you know that nobody's not gonna kick out of it. Now everybody's kicking out of everything, you know. You rarely see a 2 to 3 minute match. And then shoot, we were going to see a 3-minute match. The 2 girls left AEW locker room because they felt like it didn't make any kind of sense. Yeah, I know I had to say that. But still, appreciate the like as well. Appreciate you. But yeah, going back into it, finishes used to be so special, man. You know, back in the day in the 80s and the 90s, people used to protect their finisher. Like, they used to fight people. Hey, you couldn't even do a finisher that looked like mine, fam. If you did a finisher that looked like mine, we got to handle our business outside. Because that's how they fed their family. People were paying to see Jake do a DDT. People were paying to see the Iron Claw from the Von Erichs and stuff like that. People were paying to see Ric Flair with the figure 4 and stuff like that. I know some people had their own iterations of it, but people were paying to see these kind of finishes and stuff like that, right? It used to be a big thing. Like, to me, even now, what Stephanie Vaquer does off the top rope, that little spinning thing, nobody should kick out of that ever, because of all of the effort that she does to do the move. When Pac does the red arrow, nobody should kick out of that because of the error that not error, because of the technique and stuff like that. You know, and speaking of finishes, look at Dominic Mysterio and John Cena's match. Dominic actually hit John Cena with a frog splash on Monday. He hit him with it. He hit John Cena with a frog splash. And all John did was put his arms up, roll back, and put him in an attitude adjustment and win the match. Like, that don't hurt like it's supposed to hurt. It's a frog splash. It's a body coming off the top rope, going on to you. You didn't put your knees up, and even then, that would be painful. It wasn't a crossbody. Like, I see the creativity in it, but it just didn't work. When push come to shove, if Dom got on the top rope and then was going for the frog splash, if you would have got up and caught him, then rolled, that would have been better. You actually got hit with the frog splash to roll back. That's even with Jay Uso. Jay Uso, when they was doing the go to sleep thing, CM Punk hit him with a go to sleep, and then Jay bounced off the ropes and then landed on the shoulder. And then when they couldn't do the spot, Jay had to be like, "Oh well, that didn't hurt. Let me put him in a sleeper hold." Come on, man. And we see it. A lot of people do the fighting spirit, which is, oh, I'm going to hit you with a lariat, then I'm going to get up and not sell and hit you with a lariat. And then You hit me with a German, and then I get up, I'm gonna hit you with a German, and then I'm gonna hit you with a super kick, then I'm gonna hit you with a super kick, and then we're gonna do something, and both of us gonna be down. There's no selling at all. Crazy. It's nasty work. Like, how in the world are we supposed to be like, okay, well, why is it special? You know, that's what a finisher used to be called. A finisher used to be called a special. You know, what's your special move and stuff like that? You know, signature. I know signature usually goes into the secondary move that goes into the primaries. For example, especially in the video games. The video games, your signature. If Undertaker's signature was a choke slam, but his finisher was a tombstone. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes Kane's will be the other way around. Kane will either get a powerbomb or a tombstone for a signature, and then for a finisher, they'd either give him a choke slam, obviously the one-handed one, or a tombstone. Now it's just different. It's like cat and cat, but there's a third dog. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's to me, it's just crazy to me. But going into that situation is just like finishers used to be such a big thing. I consider my finisher special. I consider my sub finisher special. I've seen a lot of people who have great finishing moves, and I be telling people like protect that, because it's bad enough even on the independent scene that people are stealing, or even on the mainstream, people are still a finisher. They'll be like, "Hey, I need to do a new finisher," and then they'll look at something and they'll be like, "You know what? I'll take it." Crazy work, very crazy. But I am at work. Thanks for the subscription, Riley. Thank you guys and gals for rocking with me. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.